What is up, everybody? It's the commissioner here, Jimmy the Mailman Milstead. You can't really see my trophy here yet, but because of the graphic. But this thing has won, has been won. Uh, I, I'm speechless right now, Stork. We finally got a winner. Um, it's the Storksdesk, episode 24. Everybody, sorry for that weird intro, but it's Tuesday, April the 4th, 2023, and we have a new inaugural first ever Stork Cup champion, as it was won last week by our buddy Mark Raymond out of Portland, Oregon. He won it with his squad, DB Cooper, who his overall record is 17-6. He beat Scott Lanham and the Nova Fire Brigade 15-5 in convincing fashion. And I have my deputy commissioner, Kevin Stork. We're going to analyze this match, Stork. How are you doing, first of all? And welcome to our 24th episode of the Stork's Desk.
I'm doing fine, Jimmy. Is it next year yet, or what? I want to say congrats to Mark Raymond for the big win this year, being the champion, and Scott, congrats goes out to you too for a great season, and we get to reset the pins for next year, and it's going to be bigger and better.
Indeed. So, with DB Cooper's 15-5 victory, the men that crossed the finish line for him, Stork, and will be recognized as the league fantasy hockey Stork Cup champions forever, as long as we're doing this. Center Nazem Kadri, center Andrew Kopp, left winger Noah Cates, left winger JT Miller. That was DB Cooper's second round pick, if I recall. His captain and the MVP, the commissioner's trophy, goes to the MVP of the entire playoffs, and that was selected by the commish, Jimmy Milstead. David Pasternak. He is the captain of the DB Cooper, and he was the most valuable player, scoring 6 points that week, Stork. We'll get to that in a minute. But David Pasternak, a guy that played for Adna most of the year, Lucas Raymond, gets his name and forever as a Stork Cup champion. He was picked up by Mark that week. What about Dougie Hamilton on defense? Rasmus Sandin was ended up on Mark's roster across the finish line. Blake Wheeler, he was added late. Kaprizov was injured, but Mark made him available to be eligible. His teammate, though, he dropped Matt Zuccarello, I noticed. So Matt Zuccarello not eligible. Charlie McAvoy, one of the final 18. Dylan Cousins, he had a spectacular season, Stork. And what about Robo? Jason Robertson, one of just many of great talent on this DB Cooper roster. Mikhail Sergachev played some great D on the blue line. Another great defenseman, Darnell Nurse. Pavel Buznevich found his name. He was injured at the end. Mark brought him up. Unfortunately, Riley Smith was kicked out. Thomas Hertel was kicked out. And our two goalies. These guys just brought it for him all year long. Linus Allmark, probably the Vezina Trophy winner, and his teammate, Jeremy Swayman, both also finished with the championship. Stork, what did you think of the 15-5 win over Scott?
He was consistent all year, and that didn't change in the playoffs. Just a solid team, lots of balance. Scoring, defense, goaltending, he had it all, and it ended up being too much for Scott in the final there. But like I said before, we got a reset for next year, and DB Cooper, everybody's going to be hunting for you to take that championship away. So it's like I said, I'm looking forward to next year. I can't wait to get into the draft room and select my team and head for another shot at the Stork Cup.
Yes, sir. So the commissioner is ordering the championship plate tonight. It'll be Mark Raymond's name pretty much. His record. I might throw on the captain David Pasternak, and it'll say year one. So it'll be a strip. It'll go right on the base here of the trophy, if you can see the graphic there. And Mark Raymond will be forever the first ever Stork Cup champion. We have a lot. The season is over, but we still got some business to tend up to Stork here. This is episode 24 of the Storks Report, Storksdesk. I'd like to have one more episode before we call it an off season. Hopefully we can get another roundtable. I'd like to have a championship party for Mark Raymond. He's a local guy for me, so I will hand the trophy off to him. Jaden still plans on donating some shipping money. We'll save that for next year. And we've got a big drawing on May 8th to welcome the new teams. As we're going to go through these other scores here real quick, Stork. Congratulations to Waylon Womack. He won third place. He was down big, if I recall, to Dave early, and he overtakes the Probert Etiquette for third overall place, and he takes back his $25 entry fee. By the way, Mark Raymond is paying his entry fee, or deducting his entry fee for next year out of his championship. He won $185, so he will be awarded $160. Right? Is my math off? Whatever it is. Scott Lamb also, he is going to be taking out his entry fee for next year. And Waylon Womack won the $25, and he's already put it towards next year. So both the top three are already paid up this year. But congratulations, Waylon Womack. They beat Probert Etiquette 10-9, Stork. We'll cover that one as well. But May 8th, like I said, we will go back. The two new teams, we will draw ping pong balls, a best of 7 series. Whoever gets 4 of that number, because Josh, the Wyoming Great Apes, ended up getting the number 1 pick for one of these 2 new teams. And the other team was Jaden Halsey's spot of the Texas Freezing Kuznetsov. He finished at draft slot 6. So you're either getting the number 1 pick or the number 6 pick. So congratulations to Josh on a great year. Way to finish it up. He's setting the new team up. Stork, he ended up beating the Woody Woodpeckers 17-3. So Mark Wood will be picking number 2 next year. Congratulations, Tim Kelly. He beat Huma 16-4. He secures the 3rd pick. Julio will be number 4 as he lost his last consolation matchup. So number 5 will be Nick Reedy of the Frozen Norseman, who finished his season up 2 weeks ago as he beat Jaden. Jaden's spot will go to the new team at 6. Number 7 pick will be Dave of the Probert Etiquette. Number 8 will be Jimmy of Adna. 9 will be you, Stork, if I recall, right?
Yeah.
I can't even recall. It was either you or Waylon, because we didn't include the consolation wins for the winning tournament. So, and then number...
Waylon would be 9. I would be 10.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. So you're 10th. Our runner-up, Scott Lanham, is 11th. And the champ, Mark Raymond, will be picking 12. You're chomping at the bit. You already probably know who you want to pick at number 10, I would think.
Oh, yeah. I've got an idea what's going to be left on the table when I get to my pick. So I'll do the same thing that I did at the beginning of this year. If you remember, I knew who I was going to get, and I knew it would be still on the table, and I went after him. That was Rantanen, I believe I got. And I knew that's going to be left with, so I went after him for sure. But, I'm already thinking towards next year, and I guess you have to if you want to win a championship, right?
Yes, sir. How are your other leagues going right now?
Not good, Jimmy.
Yeah.
I made the playoffs in every one except for one league. But the one league that I didn't make the playoffs, I'm in first place right now in the consolation table. So I'm going Bedard hunting. So that part's good. But I got knocked out of the quarters in the other 5 leagues, which is not good. But I've got some good teams that I'll be resetting for next year. But looking forward to signing Bedard to a big contract after I officially win him after this week.
And what league was that again?
It's called the Keeper League.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's
I'm not in that one.
Or anything like. You're not in that one, but it's a money league, and there's 12 teams, and there's in this particular league, which is why it's called the Keeper League. You basically hold almost all your team. You get to protect 14 players in this league. It's a 21-man roster, so the draft rounds are only 7. So I got a pretty good team to take into next year, and I'd like to add Bedard to that.
Right on. Yeah, the best I finished was in a free league with Julio. I finished 3rd place. Came back from behind there. So otherwise, the 2 leagues I'm in with you, I had a good record in one, made the playoffs. The other one, I didn't make the playoffs, and I even did worse in the consolation round. That's League 4. I don't know what's going on with that team, but we gotta have a good draft next year. But in Fantrax, I made the playoffs. I think I was more suited for the Bedard Bowl. I probably would have done more successful in that, but it was a one and done. But at least I made the playoffs, I guess. And then I made the playoffs here in the league that mattered the most to this show, the league, fantasy hockey, and it was a one and done. So I'm still hurting from that, Stork. But better and brighter future, I believe. Next year, we're going to have a good group again. Once again, my tip of the cap to Josh Halsey and Jaden Halsey for an excellent year. I will miss the banter with them. I'm keeping them in the group, but we might need them one day if somebody wants to bounce out, and we'll see if they have a reinvigorated feel of this type of fantasy sports. I know they enjoy themselves, probably just got a little burnt out, but we'll see how the new blood. We know how one of the managers is, Dan Hall. Can you give us a little explanation on Dan Hall?
Like I reiterated before, he's a veteran fantasy player. He knows his stuff. Tough negotiator, though, and he'll tell you that himself. But he's a good guy. I've known him for years now. He's been in my leagues for 8 to 10 years or something like that. So I know him pretty well. He's an older guy, but he loves his sports. He loves his baseball. He loves his hockey. And he's a big Leaf fan, but he's going to be a dangerous fantasy owner. So everybody will have to take heed.
And our other new team will be, like we said on our last show, Alex. I still don't know her last name, but she is friends with Mark Raymond, who obviously knows his stuff as he won our first ever championship. Mark Raymond, congrats again, buddy. Ordering the nameplate tonight. I am sending out Scott Lanham's 2nd place prize tonight. I will be hopefully meeting up with Mark. I will have both the trophy and the cash that he won in hand. And obviously our 3rd place winner, Waylon Womack, one of my arch rivals there in the Ovechkin. Congrats, Waylon. He beat me, and I'm glad he won the 3rd place. Condolences, Dave. Falls short of any kind of money winnings. I know he'll be hungry next year. He'll be drafting 7th, like we said. So
I can't even boo him right now.
Yeah, hard to boo.
Terrible. I can't even boo the guy.
So Stork, let's dive into the championship game. It was a rough one for Scott. The Ovechkin division winners. They were riding a high. Stork, they lose it 15-5. Anything jump out at you in this one that went on during the week? It was an intense beginning of the contest as both were feeling each other out. I'm trying to bring up some scores here.
It was close at the start, but Mark started to pull away a little bit, and Scott just couldn't answer back with the right pushing the right buttons. He elected on, I believe, on the Saturday. He arrested Samsonov, who ended up getting his shit that day, and that cost him 3 or 4 digits in the scoreboard. And that was really the difference. That was the backbreaker. And Sunday, they just didn't have enough players to bounce back and make up the difference because he was already down 14-6 or something like that. But Friday and Saturday were really bad for Scott, and it ended up costing him.
Yeah, I was at a Thunderbirds hockey game scoreboard watching for this matchup, and I noticed he dropped Kyle Connor, one of the wingers of him, a solid winger. The Jets had been struggling. I think Kyle Connor might have been struggling for him. And then lo and behold, I'm asking Scott from the arena, did you drop Kyle Connor? Because he was just kind of lighting it up. I think that was either Friday or Saturday. It might have been Friday. And he said, yeah, he had let him go, and that was just one of the heartbreaking moves for him. That would have helped him out in the goal scoring. Let's look at the goals here, buddy. DB Cooper ended up beating Nova 19-14. Both these teams brought it all year in the goals. Mark was just a little bit better. Wins it by 5 in that category. 33 assists for Mark. He was tearing it up in the apples. He was a full... or he beat Scott 33-24. And then in points, domination, 52 points in the championship game for Mark Raymond's squad. He puts a stamp that he owned this cup. 38 points, pretty good for Nova. Just wasn't in the same league in the top 3 categories there of offense. DB Cooper was a -3. Scott was a +7. So Scott played some good defensive, responsible hockey in that department. The penalty minutes were close. DB Cooper, 24. Nova Fire Brigade, 21. In the power play, this is where Scott usually gets some teams. It was pretty close. He ended up winning 2 out of 3 here. He beat Mark in goals 6-4. Both tied in assists on the power play, 11 apiece. And 17-15. So the power plays were clicking in the Stork Cup finals. Nova Fire Brigade was looking good there. A big shorty point for DB Cooper during the week. Who had it? It was Darnell Nurse on the blue line for the Edmonton Oilers. That was a huge win there. And then DB Cooper, 4 game-winning goals. That's hard to catch when Nova only had 1. Nova did very well in the game-winning goal department all season long as well, but not good enough in the finals. Shots on goal, Mark took that 151-122. And then face-offs, Mark was killing it early. Nova gets it back. 224 face-off wins, Stork, in just 1 week. Keep in mind, everybody... 200 face-off wins is a ton. Mark was able to get over the 200 barrier as well, 206. So that was actually a pretty decent matchup. Mark Raymond was winning early in the week. Scott just blew past him in the end there, 224-206. Once again, Scott just wasn't hitting enough. DB Cooper pounded him 61-38. Picked up a lot of bangers in that week. Block shots was real close. Nova Fire Brigade beats Mark Raymond 48-46. Goaltending, it was all DB Cooper. Like you said, Scott could have used Samsonov when he needed him. Each team had 4 goaltending starts. Mark was 3-1. Nova was 1-2. And then the goals against was DB Cooper. He only allowed 8. Scott allowed 11. The GAA was just kind of high for Nova Fire Brigade, 3.02. DB Cooper, unbelievable tandem of the Bees, Swayman and Allmark, a 1.98 GAA. They had 1 more shots again, 110-109, and pretty close in saves, 102-98. This would have been Scott Scott's category if he could have got some more goaltending. And then the save percentage was all Mark .927 to Scott's .899. Neither team had a shutout in the championship. 15-5, DB Cooper over the Nova Fire Brigade. Any players stand out for you on DB Cooper's team, Stork?
Oh, wow. I mean, it's not really an individual player for that team. Like I said earlier, I mean, this guy had some balance. He had defense, he had offense, he had goaltending. He pushed all the right buttons, especially in the last week. Once he started catching the lead in the final there, he never looked back. He just kept his foot on the pedal and did the job. And again, congrats, Mark. It was a well-deserved victory. You were the best team all year, and Scott was the second best team all year. And I mentioned it before. It was only fitting that the first and second place teams made it to the final. That made it quite exciting for our first year.
Yes, and the commish gave the MVP to Captain David Pasternak. 5 goals, Stork, 1 assist, 6 points. He had 24 shots on goal for DB Cooper, 2 game-winning goals, so that alone put him ahead. I noticed also Jason Robertson had a 6-point week. This put him, I believe, over the 100-point marker for the NHL. His stats were 1 goal, 5 assists for 6 points, and he had 1 game-winning goal. So we gave it to Pasta. Also, a great week for Mikhail Sergachev, who kind of is banged up right now for the Lightning, but he had a 4-point week, 1 goal, 3 assists. What about Darnell Nurse? He had 3 goals, including that shorty point. It wasn't an assist; it was a goal. And he had 18 shots on goal for a defenseman.
And I believe
that
it was
week.
a game winner too.
Yeah. JT Miller in the faceoff dot, great week. The Canucks, I believe, are eliminated now, but JT Miller helped DB Cooper a ton. 42 faceoff wins this week, 37 faceoff wins for Kopp, and 23 for Nazem Kadri. Kadri a little bit quiet, but he had 3 assists. I noticed Mark picked up a guy named Noah Cates there in Philly. I believe he had him early in the season, if I'm not mistaken. Somebody did. So interesting. A Flyer made the championship team. He had 16 faceoff wins. Looking at the champions goalies again, like you said. And a shout out to a couple of guys Mark dropped before I go to the goalies. Thomas Hertel was on his roster all year. He had a 3-point week that week. And what about the Mason Michelli, or whatever his first name is? I can't remember. Rookie for Arizona. He scored 2 huge goals early for Mark. Krejci was on Mark's team for a while. Zuccarello. They just did not make the final 18. Riley Smith was banged up. I think he had a great fantasy season. I had him in another league. But also, Evan Rodriguez didn't end up crossing the finish line. But he had a hand in the championship run there. Linus Allmark finished the championship 2-1. He did give up a lot of goals, but his GAA was pretty decent. 1.64. I guess he gave up 5 goals all week, but that save percentage is unbelievable. .942. Swayman went 1-0. He had the better record, but he, for some reason, had a worse GAA, 3.00. And his save percentage wasn't as high. So Allmark got the bulk of the load for DB Cooper this year. He's got to be a slam dunk Vezina, right, Stork?
Oh yeah, no question.
Then we'll give a tip of the cap here to Sky Lanham. What about 55 faceoff wins this week? Sidney Crosby, the losing captain. His team's fighting for a real NHL playoff spot. I haven't seen the score tonight, but 3 assists for Crosby. 55 faceoff wins. Unbelievable. Elias Pettersson had a great playoff for Scott. He pounded home 3 points. Brock Besser, I believe he picked him up for the playoffs. He wasn't on his regular season team. He had a 4-point week in the finals. Quinn Hughes was a kick-ass defenseman for Scotty all year. He had 4 points, 2 goals, 2 assists this week. Another face-off king was Anze Kopitar. He traded for him, Stork. 59 face-off wins in the title game to help him win that category. Just 2 assists, though, for Anze. Lindholm, great defenseman for Boston. He was banged up a little bit, but he had 2 assists this championship. Morrissey was out for a little bit, I thought. He missed him for a game or two, if I recall. Probably Scott. Go ahead, Stork.
No, I was just saying Morrissey missed the first 2 games for him that week, so that was
okay.
That didn't help him at all either. When he came back, he was kind of limited on his playing time, so he was a no factor for him, along with a couple other guys. So that's just the way it goes in fantasy hockey sometimes, right?
Right. Logan Couture had been solid for Scott all year. He had a 3-point week, 22 face-off wins. Pavelski, 15 face-off wins, 3 goals. Pavelski, the Stars, they're in the lofts. Killorn in Tampa Bay, 2 goals, 2 assists. He was playing real well early for Scott. I know he had a goal against the Caps earlier in the week. Guys that went on his roster that he dropped was Kyle Connor. Kyle Connor, though, when he was on his roster, didn't do anything, but I know he had a big game when he cut him. Nick Schmaltz, I thought he played well for Scott. He got the release, as well as Kyle Palmieri and Nick Ritchie and Eli Tolvanen. All season long, Vanacek and Samsonov, the former Capitals duo. Vanacek went to Jersey Devils, Samsonov to Storks Leafs. They provided pretty good goaltending for Scott all season. This week, this championship just wasn't enough. Vanacek was only 1-2. Gave up 8 goals in Scott's starts, 3.05 GAA. He did have a .900 save percentage. And then Sammy didn't play well when he had him in. Excuse me. But could have used him on that one night. He got the shutout, right?
Yeah, Saturday night.
So
like
I know.
I said, it would have handed him at least 3 or 4 slots on the scoreboard, and that would have made a difference. But it wasn't just Samsonov that he missed out on, but as you said, a few of those other guys just didn't show up in the finals for him. Because right up until about Thursday or Wednesday, he was right in it. He was pretty equal to points and everything like that. He was just a step behind everywhere, easily to catch up. But the second half of the finals just did not go his way, that's for sure.
So once again, congratulations, DB Cooper, Mark Raymond, 17-6, gets it done as an overall record this year. Nova Fire Brigade dropped to 15-8. Excuse me. Once again, we're going to have the lottery draw for the 2 new coming teams. May 8th, I believe that's the night they're drawing in the real National Hockey League for the Connor Bedard sweepstakes, as Columbus should have the best percentage, I believe, right now. But we'll see. It doesn't always go to the best percentage team. Let's see if some crazy team, hopefully it's not somebody ridiculous. But
well, I'm going to lay this out here right now, Jimmy, as far as Bedard's concerned. Here's my gut feeling that he's going to be a Chicago Blackhawk.
Wow, they've already got.
I said that.
I think I'd like to see him on the West Coast just because, as a Caps fan, I don't want to get beat up by that kid. How many times do we play Columbus a year? 4? Something like that, because he's the real deal, man. He's beating Saskatoon right now. They're a lower seed in that WHL playoffs. I want to believe they have a chance to go up 3-0 if I'm not mistaken. I haven't been able to watch that series, but he is kicking butt, and his team's not as good as Saskatoon. But if you're spot on that Blackhawks. Look out for the Blackhawks here. Yeah, of course they got to grow and get mature, but they have a bunch of Seattle. I'm wearing my Seattle Thunderbirds gear tonight, Stork.
I see
Nolan,
it.
Nolan
Stand
Allen,
up and show 'em that jacket, man.
uh,
Yeah,
Kevin.
that's cool.
We're up 2-0 in our series. We're the number 2 team overall in the WHL. Winnipeg was the number 1, but this team, there's a ton of Blackhawks talent on it with other teams. But look out for those Chicago Blackhawks if Bedard is to get on there. I mean, half the Canadian Junior World Champion team of this year. Don't forget about Colton Dock, Kirby's younger brother. He's on the T-Birds. This guy's a big, big man, and he can get in your face. I think he's a hell of a hockey player. I've seen him live, and I've knocked my socks off. He was hurt for the World Junior team, but he was on that World Junior team. They didn't really need him, but Kirby Dock's younger brother, Colton Dock, he is good. And right now he's on a line with Brad Lambert and Dylan Gunther, the hero of Canada, for that World Junior here on my team out here in Seattle. It's a phenomenal line, and I feel spoiled, Stork, watching it. We're playing Kelowna tonight, 7 o'clock start puck drop here on April the 4th. But back to my prediction for Bedard, I would like to see him to go to Arizona or San Jose. I know, call me boring, but I like to see. I'm not a fan of either one of those teams, but I want to see that Southwest area get picked up. Even though California's north, San Jose's northern California, but those teams have had nothing here, and they need to get it going. Gunther, by the way, he's with Coyotes. I think he's going to be a hell of a hockey player, but excuse me. We'll see though. May 8th, buddy. So we'll also draw the ping pong balls for our first our 2 new teams. One of them is going to get the first pick. The other one's going to get the 6th pick. So I have a system. We're going to draw the best of 7. So it should be exciting. Yep. We're going to fire the bingo drum up. And I'll have their names, multiple name strips for each of the 2 competitors, Alex and Dan. Whatever name I pull out first, and they get that ball. They're trying to get the number 1 ball 4 times. So we'll figure out how that works out. I don't know how the math would work. I don't know how. I'll have to maybe get with you offline, Stork. Do you think that's a good way to decide it?
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, so you're just going to keep drawing until that number 1 ball comes out? Is that how you're doing it?
Well, it's going to be a best of 7. So whoever gets it 4 times.
Oh, gets the number 1 ball 4 times.
Yeah.
That's a good way. That's fair.
I need to add some drama to it, and I'll also be releasing. We're going to keep it at 21 weeks, I believe, for the season, as long as that works out for the NHL and Yahoo. I want to keep it at 21 regular season weeks. We play our interdivision run.
That's a good number.
We play the opposite division 1 time, and we play inside the division 3 times. So I like that format. It worked out really well this year. And I don't really care about the last couple of weeks of the regular season. As you can tell, a lot of people are banged up, healing up, and probably going to start resting guys here. So that was my motto this year. Hopefully that doesn't go against anyone else that wants it to be longer. But we will have that competition committee at some point to straighten out all the rules, Stork. Anything pressing that you want to talk about before we wrap up this championship coronation episode?
I mean, we still have a couple of, another show at least. I mean, it's something we could talk about is our position limits for next year. I'm not sure if everybody's aware of what we're calculating to do, but you might want to touch up on a little bit about that and how we're going to deal with positions and limits.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd like to maybe cut down on centers or something, but we'll see. And I'm going to put out a poll. I want to kind of do away with the goaltending start stat. I kind of find it not beneficial. It just makes people want to keep adding goalies just to win that category. To me, we could do without it, but we'll see what everybody thinks. I will have.
I mean, we're going to make a limit on the goalies next year. Three, I believe you said. So I mean, you could leave that stat in if you wanted to, because it's not like somebody can grab 5 goalies and put them, clang them up together and put them in. So I mean, you could leave it on there if we have a limit of 3 goalies. So you might find if we do have that limit, a lot of teams may elect to go with 3 goalies in their system. So you never know. But once you clamp down on that limit, the game started. It'll just be another stat that you're trying to win. So I don't know. We'll talk about it and work out the best idea. But I think as far as I agree with you now. The game started for goalies is a little. I don't know. I mean, like I said, we've had teams grab 4 or 5 goaltenders in their system.
Just so I did that once.
Every night, including you. There you go. Yeah. But if you have a limit of 3, it makes the stat a little bit more meaningful. So, but we'll talk about it.
Yeah, we'll definitely talk about it. I'd like to get as many people involved as possible. What I'll call it is a competition committee. And then I'll be putting up a poll real soon. I think the most important date we need to narrow down. I know it's early. We're not even in the off season yet, or we just started the off season, but we need to come up with that crucial draft night date. And I prefer it in September, as close as the start of the NHL season as possible. I know there's multiple drafts that you run. I know a lot of people are involved with.
Sunday,
what's that?
That makes it easy. All my drafts are on a Sunday, so.
Okay. Yeah, I believe a couple of people have been wanting it to be a Saturday night for this one because of East Coast, and we're looking for a platform where we can do this, be live together on a platform, and it makes it a little bit longer.
So that'd be good.
Yeah, we can all be together and present, and we can even do a little bit of smack talking when it's the crap hits the fan. So
I can't wait for pick number 10.
Yeah.
Pick
Should
number
be
10
exciting.
and number 15.
Before I let you go, Stork, any new awesome cards you picked up you want to share with our audience?
I did, actually. What do I got here? I picked up, these are 1966. I got can you see that?
Yeah, Harry Howell.
Harry Howell, man. Now, here's a really
card.
Good one. Billy Ray, ex-Chicago Blackhawk coach and ex-player, obviously. That's 62. And my favorite one that I picked up, Orland Kurtenbach.
Whoa, what a name.
He was signed up by the Bruins. He was an ex-Vancouver Canuck captain. Their first captain ever, actually. And he was a rough and tough bruiser, this guy. Everybody was scared to fight this guy because he had hands like stones. So, he didn't have to fight a lot because when he did, you were going to be in trouble because this guy could throw them. But, those are my new pickups that I got this week.
1962, you said?
62, 63.
Yeah, I like the way those are designed. OPG?
Yes, OPG.
Okay. Those are sweet.
Well, no, actually, these ones are Parkhurst. These ones are Parkhurst.
Okay. Just say that looks looks like a Parkhurst type design, but I couldn't. I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, it's a Parkhurst. I'm wrong.
Well, with the fantasy season pretty much over for me, I'm going to need to get back into card collecting. I need something to stay busy with. There's always something to do, Stork. Also, May 8th, I will hopefully debut next year's schedule. I will balance it out, and we'll be raring to go. I plan on having the first week a non-divisional week, so we'll get that DB Cooper and Nova Fire Brigade rematch to open things off. I'll announce other exciting stuff here in the coming weeks. We'll put up some polls. We'll have one more Storks desk episode to close out the season. Hopefully, we can maybe bring the champ on, and even Nova Fire Brigade if he wants to. I know he's kind of licking his wounds this week, but I wanted to leave Scott alone. But he still wins a nice secondary prize, and I will get that out as soon as this show is over, and order the nameplate for Mark as well. So if there's nothing else, Stork, this has been episode 24 of the Storksdesk. Dude, I've had so much fun with you this year. I know you're ready for the NHL playoffs, so we will definitely let you go and watch your Leafs. Good luck to them this year. I'm the commissioner.
All through, man. Gonna be biting my nails all through the round one. So
gonna be a long off season for me, buddy. I have the T-Birds to cheer on for WHL, but NHL wise, the Caps are probably getting eliminated tonight. For all I know, I think the Penguins win. They're done. So, but good luck to the Leafs. And once again, it's been a great day for hockey. Badger Bob Johnson always said, and it's been a great season. We'll be back with episode 25 of the Storks Desk whenever we can. Hopefully, we can get our champion on and get this cup to him. We're going to have a cup party sometime during the NHL playoffs, and we'll stream some stuff. And we'll watch Mark celebrate with a Stork Cup, and he will take it next year. Stork, thanks for joining me, buddy. We'll talk to you soon. I'm the commissioner for Kevin Stork, the deputy, signing out. Have a good night, everybody.
Take care.
Later.